Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. Make sure you leave your prayer request in the bottom. Hope everybody's had a good day. There's a couple of news events we're going to talk about. Like I've told you today in earlier video, got to make sure that we're just keeping our eyes up on the clouds and listening for that chauffeur. Because, you know, a lot of people are talking about what's to come, but I believe any day we could be leaving here. With all the news that just keeps flowing in, day out, some event is about to take place, and we will be leaving before that event happens. Let's see, 6 Russian Tu-95 strategic bombers take off from Ukraine. Ukraine likely to begin exploding again shortly. So these are their big strategic bombers out of Russia. Now, Russia was hit by quite a few drones strikes there in Moscow once again. And it's like they just keep tapping them and trying to get them to make a move. And eventually it brings this nuclear war, which I've told you. But right now, they're trying to get them into actually starting a war so NATO can get into this. And that's why you see all this stuff happening. It's like the Antichrist spirit just trying to get this thing to go. But see, the restrainer is just keeping it at bay for now until we're removed, and then it will take place. 6 Russian bombers aircraft have taken off from Lenore Air Base in northwestern Russia, headed towards the Caspian Sea. It is likely Ukraine will begin exploding again in a few hours. It has become routine for the Russian bombers loaded with cruise missiles fly to launch zones over the Caspian Sea and unleash hell upon the Ukraine. Ukrainians are powerless to harm those aircraft because the Caspian Sea is too far for the Ukraine. For Ukraine. So they've moved these things back, and Russia keeps saying that literally, you know, eventually this will become nuclear if they don't stop hitting Moscow. Well, now Ukraine has come out and said that they're going to be a massive strike on Russia very soon. So let's see what else we got here. I talked to you a little bit about this Belarus and Poland thing. Now that's heating up also. Also the Poland, which is, a lot of you probably know, they are NATO. The Poland president has come out and said they're going to go to war with Belarus no matter if NATO approves it or not. So because they want to take northern Ukraine, that used to be part of their land. So they want to get that back. So they're having eyes on that. You know, they're not trying to help Ukraine, but they're like, well, we can go in and grab some of this land ourselves. See, you're starting to see, if you know your World War II history, you're starting to see a lot of these people, like when Hitler in World War II, he'd grab a piece here, grab a piece there, then suddenly Russia helped grab a piece of Poland. Well, that's what you're seeing now. Now Poland's like, well, I wonder if we can go in and take some of this land also. So you're starting to see that. World War II is just pretty much repeating itself. Except this one, everybody's got nukes. Photo below shows 2 military helicopters from Belarus entered Poland airspace today, going undetected by Poland NATO radar because they flew so low. They flew about 2 kilometers through Poland and returned to Belarus airspace, flying just above the tree line. The helicopters was photographed by persons on the ground inside of Poland. In fact, this wasn't military radar which sounded alarming. It was people on the ground telephoning local authorities and report military helicopters with the Belarus flag on them and flying over such and such right now. The helicopters flew en route on the map shown, the red line. So they flew quite a bit of distance. I mean, it wasn't some little distance. They flew miles into Poland airspace, and that means that they're trying to test their defensive. So you're about to see, I think, Wagner Group try to invade a NATO country. Now, what's NATO going to do? That's what we got to sit and watch. That's why the rapture is so close. People's like, well, it's all going to go back to normal. It's not going to go back to normal. Half the world is starving, and people don't get this yet. It's because they're waiting for CNN and them to put it on a plate for them, and they're not. China has not shipped anything to America in over a year. You wonder why everything in the stores are starting to get kind of bare? Well, we've been watching the shipments of shipped goods. China is literally bypassing America and going straight to South America. You don't know that because they're not telling you that. But see, we've got the apps. We can track the ships. The media has got people so, literally, they're just completely oblivious to what's happening until it's too late. That's why we're on here telling you, and I'm here to tell you, China has not shipped any goods. The only goods that's coming here from China now is being flown in. None of it by ship. It's more expensive. But people like Walmart, the dollar stores, and all these people, they're paying to have it flown in because it's not coming by ship. You're going to say, well, Chris, why are they doing that? They're getting ready to go to war. They're not going to, America media is not going to tell you that. Because they don't want you panic buying and going to the store and grabbing everything. But that is why they don't want you to know. The global economy has never come back from the pandemic. A lot of countries went bankrupt. Sri Lanka is another country that went completely bankrupt overnight. They have nothing. Everything collapsed. America is collapsing. Slowly but surely. 140 countries are coming on to take the dollar bill out of their circulation and start trading regular stuff and quit using the dollar. When this stuff happens, you'll see your Wendy's, your McDonald's, and everything will start to crash. Just like it did overseas. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to hide that because these politicians don't want you knowing that. Because they won't get voted back in. This is all about power and greed. I hate to say it, but the corruption here and abroad and around the world has gotten so out of control that it's too late. No one man can fix it now. People don't realize it. They just have no clue what's coming. But it is coming. Last year, China started buying up 70% of the world's wheat, including ours, and we sold ours to them. You know, all the reserve fuel, we only have 10 days left in our strategic fuel. That's it. If we went to war tomorrow, American soldiers would run out of gas in 24 hours. You don't know that, do you? See, you're not going to know these things until it's too late. But us that dive in and want to know what's going on, why things are weird, we dive in and we find the answers. And when we started diving in to find these answers, we found some very disturbing things. Do you know most of the strategic oil reserves was sold by the Bidens to China? They've been buying up all of our reserves, and we sold it to them. That's correct. Along with our wheat. We also signed this year America over to literally do away with all farming in the United States because of cow farts. That's how dumb this country's become. Cow farts ain't killing the ozone. It's not killing the atmosphere. It's not global warming. It's called the end of the world. God's the one heating up the planet. It is not us. We are at the end of time. It's all a deception. It's a great lie. You're not going to know this until it's too late. But us that go in and find these things, we start to see these things, we start putting them together, and we start, oh my goodness, we're at the end of time. And we are. You come here to know what's truly going on. These are the facts that are truly going on. The other people, they're not going to believe it. It'll be too late for them. All you can do is pray for them. There's people we can tell them this stuff over and over. They're called conspiracy nuts, everything. They will believe the media and the devil and everything he literally gives them. Because they don't want to believe that this world is coming to an end. But I'm here to tell you, the world's economies are crashing. The fuel, the farming, they're banning farming, not just here, all over the world. People have to eat. But see, there's a plan to reduce the population, and it's already begun. And people don't realize it. They don't believe that. But these people do not hide it in these 20 or 30 agendas. They don't hide it, people. But people will always try to believe Satan and his lies. Don't be one of these people. Okay? There is a lot of bad things that's happening out there. I don't like talking about them. I don't like talking about them here. But you come here to want to know why we're leaving. The world is collapsing very quickly. They have to have World War III. It fits their agenda. It fits his agenda. With World War III and a nuclear lob of missiles around the world, will give the Antichrist exactly what he wants: power. He will be able to come in and clean up the mess, get his covenant, which I do believe the Revelation 12 sign that happens next month gives us the proof of the United Nations asteroid being there in that sign. That to me is 100% proof that that covenant, at that same 3 days, you can't make this up, God's confirming that that is the covenant that will be done. If you think it, you can't say it's coincidence or whatever, that's got to be what it is. And a lot of people will still see that and go, well, that's not it, you know, that can't be it. We can't be there. We're supposed to be here another 100 and 200 years. No, you will not be. You can believe what the watchers and watchwomen are telling you or not. But all we can do is put it out there, and you do with it as you must. That's all we can do. I've told God I've quit fighting with people. They either take what we're telling them or not. But I'm going home, and I hope and pray many of you will be ready to go home also. And definitely keep your eyes, because let me tell you something, there's a lot of fishy stuff going on. I had a report late last night. I won't mention her name. She's an incredible source. And I wanted to throw this out there. I won't mention her name because this is almost unbelievable. But I need your all's help, and I want you all to be serious with me. Don't leave your name. Don't put it in your name. Okay? Trying to think how we can do this to not put you all in. You know, we might be able to do this somehow. Let me think. I've got my mailing address if you want to be anonymous with this. It's in a description box. But I had a viewer, I don't want to put, you know, this is so dangerous, I won't even mention the names. This is such crazy news that I just want to ask you guys if you've seen something similar. But I had a viewer that contacted me out of Iowa. Credible source, good person, and I believe them. But their children was out playing in Iowa, and 3 choppers, military choppers, flew below radar in this area. And this is like a, you know, a little farming town. This is just what you think about Mayberry. It's what is mostly out there in Iowa. There's a lot of farming out there in those places. But her kids was very scared, and she wanted to know, you know, and they went out. These helicopters was not American. They had the Chinese name and the red star on them. They went in and actually looked up Chinese military aircraft and found this helicopters, which there was 3. Why was those helicopters in the United States? It makes us think crazy things, but we won't go into any detail on that. But if you have any information, you can mail that to me, and you don't have to put it out on the channel unless you want to put it on the channel that you've seen something very weird, something similar to this with another country's military signet on it. Now, I've already checked in. There's no military bases around there, no Chinese military bases. At least it's not recorded. So if you live in Iowa or any place like, you know, we go into Kansas and places like that, that you live out in the sticks and you're seeing something like that that don't make any sense, just let me know, because that's something that it's just, I don't know, something that definitely gets my interest for sure, that something ain't right. Because I've not seen anything on CNN or Fox or anybody talking about China military being on our soil at any point, even as a they're not a partner, they're not in NATO, so there'd be no reason for them to be doing any kind of test here, or what they call them. For some reason my brain ain't working tonight. just some joint adventure about, training their troops, just training events. I've not heard of anything. I could be wrong, but if you have any information on that, just kind of let us know in any way, because I just thought that was pretty disturbing. And I actually looked it up to see if there's any other news on this. Could not find it anywhere. So, but they're not going to report it. And the weird part is it's not reported, and that makes me wonder what's going on. Now, this big thing that happened in China, I don't know if y'all been seeing this, but the Three Gorges Dam, which is the biggest dam in the world, is on the verge of collapse. It would, the aftermath would be horrendous. But right now, the city recorded 744.8 meters, 29 inches of rain between Saturday and Wednesday morning. So the surrounding province of Hebei were hit by several severe flooding because of the record rainfall. Many bridges was lost, many lives have been lost. Another sign of how close we are. This is a record, people. They've never seen this kind of rain before. And China gets a lot of rain, but they've never seen rain like this. And we just saw a 1,000-year flood in Miami, a 1,000-year flood up there in the north around Vermont. We're seeing earthquakes on measures and heat we've never seen. And let me tell you something. It is not global warming. Understand, this heat is God. This ain't man-made. That's why I'm telling you the tribulation's starting. Because in the tribulation, when they get the mark of the beast in their hand and in their head, the sun will be so hot upon the earth that their skin, that symbols, the 666, in their hand and in their forehead, will burn. It will literally, they will fry, and it will hurt them so bad that this is going to happen. See, it talks about that in Revelation. So this heating is for the tribulation after we leave. People don't realize that, but the sun is going to scorch down and start scorching people's skin off their bones. That's going to happen. There's no stopping it. It's not what they think it. These people know it's not global warming. These elites, they know what's coming. That's why they're stocking everything underground in bunkers. Bill Gates has bought 17 bunkers in the last 4 years. Why does he need 17? They know what's coming, people. They don't want you to know because they don't want you going and looking for their supplies once all this stuff happens. But the elites are going under the ground. The politicians are going under the ground. The only people that ain't is you. And they have that set up that way. America is run, they work for us, but that doesn't happen anymore. These people have gotten the power so bad that, well, you're seeing the outcome of all this. That's why I said, we're very close to getting out of here. Very close. All the signs are there, the storms, the sun, the flooding, everything, prophecies galore, especially with what's happening with Israel. Israel is probably our number one sign at this moment, with Turkey, Russia, and Iran building up in Damascus and on the border. All that is happening in our time. We're seeing Daniel, we're seeing Isaiah, Ezekiel, we're seeing Revelation, all coming to pass in our time. And the Holy Spirit said, when you start to see this, look up. That's why I told you. We do not have to get to the Feast of Trumpets. We don't. It could be any time. Anytime. From here, there. Or even after there. It doesn't mean that that is the rapture point. But let me tell you something. God's warning us. That's why you're seeing these signs in the stars. Because that's God warning us. That what is coming. And I know what that is. What the warning is that this is Jacob's trouble that's coming. This is the tribulation. This is the warning. 7 good, 7 bad. 7 good years versus the 7 bad years. And imagine, COVID and all that junk was in the 7 good years. Imagine what the 7 bad years is going to be. I've told people, you're not going to be able to find drinking water, medicine, anything in the tribulation. Your own family will cut your throat, literally. Because they're going to want food, they're going to want stuff, because America's so spoiled, And all of a sudden, within one day, America's cut off from her stores, her medicine, everything. They go from being the superpower to a third world country, or actually worse than a third world country after the rapture. People that have been spoiled all their life, going to Wendy's, McDonald's, having the good life. Anytime you want food, it's everywhere you look. It will be gone. Can you imagine the chaos? No more running water in your homes after World War III. I've seen it. America is just a burned out shell of what it was after World War III. Most of its people are basically put into camps, and the rest of their stuff is just kind of hauled off to other countries. That is the future of America, and that's what's coming. And if it wasn't, God wouldn't have shown me. And He's not just showing me that. He's shown many people that. People's like, oh, it's about it. No, that's why America's not mentioned in Revelation. There's nothing left over after World War III. It just starts to be sold off to the highest bidder. That's what's coming. That's why I said the best way to avoid all this stuff is to be in the rapture and not have to deal with any of the chaos after. Because the chaos is coming. Not just here. It's not just America. It's all over the world. It will be a different world. The whole world is about to collapse. And it's not going to be safe to be down here. And the best bet is for us, like I said, no fear. But we're going to be in a better place. And that's the place to escape it all. He was like, Chris, you sure? I'm like, yes, there is a rapture. People's going to argue up and down. These people, but they don't know how to rightfully divide the Bible. That's why they'll never be able to find it. And where they won't ask God, God's blinded them to it. Their pride. They won't believe. And I'm not going to argue with them anymore either. I understand that God's blinded them because they refuse to listen. So I'm not arguing with them either. We're just going to do our jobs and tell you to get as many people on the boat as possible because we're running out of time. And Lucifer wants me distracted and aggravated, and I'm not doing it anymore. So if you put that junk in the comment and all that stuff, we will take it off. It's not going to stay on there long, so you're wasting your time. We're here to get people and bring them. And I had more news tonight that more people that's had their prayer request in the bottom, their loved ones have now come to God. So it is working. So that's why we tell you all the time, put it in there. We're praying with these, and I have all the faith in the world. These people are going to get saved. All the world. Okay? And that's what we got to do before we get out of here, because all these signs are here. They're all coming to pass. And we are running out of time. If you're watching Lisa Boyce, Aaron over at God a Minute, Kim Fisher, Gigi at Blue Heaven, you have Tom Cody over there at Watchman River, you have Uptime, you have, the list goes on and on. You have Hourly Watch there with Patrick, Dr. Barry Awe, and many, many more. Gator 1111. There's a lot of people out there that's bringing this information to you that you're running out of time. And they're correct. We all see the signs. World War III is approaching, and they will not stop until they get it. Okay? Understand, they don't want it not to happen. They want it to happen. The Antichrist spirit has them, and they will not stop. Because this is the end of the world. There is no fixing it. That's what people don't seem to understand. It's not going to go back to normal. This is, man's allotted time is up in 2030. Lucifer and man, their time is up. When 2030 arrives, there's a new king in town. And it won't be run like it is before. But first, the rapture will happen. And I can't wait to see all of you all at the banquet table. That's where we'll be very soon. But as of right now, until we get to the banquet table, we got to try to get as many people on the ark as possible. That's our job. And we got to keep to that mission. Thank each and every one of you for your support. All the ones who bought me coffee today, and the letters through the mail and everything else. I appreciate you for the channel. You guys have brought me into your homes. You adopted me. And I appreciate each and every one of you for letting me come into your house to pray for your loved ones and to be able to warn the world that just like Noah said in the days of Noah, that the rain was coming, I'm here to tell you the fire's coming. And a lot of people don't believe me, and they won't get on the ark, just like I'll keep warning. But it is coming. And once that ark door shuts, that will be it. If I don't see or hear from you again, I'll see you in heaven.